This is the Pirates POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the Pirates POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm Ryan Alexander from the North Shore 9. The Pirates dropped their second straight game against the Cubs, 7-2. On tonight's show, we're going to talk about the defense in the sixth inning, letting Paul Skenes down. Skenes strikes out 10 in the losing effort, and the Pirates drop the third straight Paul Skenes start. We're going to talk about the bats pretty much going silent for most of this game, having no answer for Cubs starter Colin Ray. And then Ian Happ, the Pirates killer, comes through with a big game again for the Cubs against the Pirates. Where have we heard this before? For a deeper dive on the Pirates after this postcast, check out Gary Morgan on Locked On Pirates for your daily look at the Pittsburgh Pirates. And tonight, look, Bob Walk said it right there at the end of the broadcast. The Pirates have just been treading water. And it's been something I've been talking about, and how, you know, the Pirates win 2 games, they lose 2. They go back to 500. They get ahead 3 in a row. They're up 3 on, over 500. They go right back to 500. And that's exactly what they've been doing. They've been treading water. They can't get ahead. They can't get a big winning streak going. And you had a chance tonight. I said it yesterday with the loss. Last night's loss wasn't a deal breaker. It wasn't I wouldn't say a huge loss in the grand scheme of things. You had Paul Skenes on the mound tonight against the Cubs. You had a chance to take 3 or 4 from them. And once again, the Pirates don't get the job done. Skenes was cruising. We're going to start with him in this game. He struck out 10. He was throwing the sweeper more than we've seen this year. Threw it about 30% of the time. Had an incredible whiff rate with the 10 strikeouts. And he gets into the 6th inning, and it went downhill for him. And the Pirates defense did not help. But let's start with Skenes. Like I said, he gets going through the sweeper 30% of the time tonight. Had 7 whiffs off that alone. Overall, 20 whiffs on 49 swings, 41% whiff rate. He started out in that first couple innings, and it looked like the starts where Skenes went, 7 no hit, or he had that perfect game for a while later in the game. It looked like one of those starts. Like, he had the swing and miss stuff going. It was a lot better than the past 2 starts we saw from him. And it just, Pirates couldn't score. It was 0-0. And you're thinking, okay, don't lose a 1-0 Paul Skenes start or whatever. And he gave up a run that was the 4th inning. So kind of a unlucky inning. He gets a ground out, walks Michael Busch, gets the second out, and then Ian Happ, of course, bloop single, it drops in. And then Suzuki gets a single, and it's 1-0. So you're like, okay, 1 run, Skenes is still cruising. He's got the swings and misses going. The offense could get a run, no problem. But we get into the 6th inning, and it's still 1-0. And Skenes was at about, he was, I think, right at the low 90s. And they brought him back out for another inning, which, we've seen Skenes go 100 before. He gets Nico Horner to line out. He walks Michael Busch for a second time on the night, then gets a ground ball to third, who now Tyler Callihan comes into the game, who entered the game from Nick Gonzalez getting injured. So Nick Gonzalez left the game due to an injury. Callihan was called up before the game, making his Pirates debut. He comes into the game, ground ball to Callihan at third, and he throws it in the dirt. Tough pick play for Horowitz at first, and Bregman reaches on a single. Now, Don Kelly came out. You're thinking Skenes is right there at almost 100 pitches. Is he going to take him out? Kelly had a little conversation with Skenes. Skenes looked like he wanted to stay in. They leave him in. Ian Happ comes up, the Pirates killer, and now they have this down as a single to second base. He grounds to second. Jared Triolo, who's a very good, Gold Glover defender, is at second. And I don't like, it was not a double play ball, but it was like a ground ball to second, but the runner was going from first. So he wasn't going to be able to turn 2. but it looked like he just kind of double faked it, like to get double pumped it to get it, couldn't get it out of his glove, and threw wide at first. Ball goes flying, run scores. Kelly comes out, gets Skenes. Mason Montgomery comes in, gets the last 2 outs. Skenes, easily could have had 6 innings in this one, 10 strikeouts, 1 run. I'm interested to see if they ruled that Happ a hit, but I'm interested to see if they change that to an error. At the end of the day, it's going to be whether it's a run to Skenes. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things for the game, because that made it 3-0, and the Pirates were pretty much cooked at that point. The offense was not getting it done. Now the offense did come right back out, but it actually kind of get back in the game. But yeah, it just another scale. If it's not like a bloop single or a couple weird things happening for Skenes, unlucky, run scores here, and you're down 1-0, and then to have that 6th inning where the defense just 2 straight plays, ground balls to your infielders, you should be out of that inning. And I don't know. We know the outfield defense isn't great. We know, Connor Griffin wasn't starting today at short. I don't know. There's a rumor that he's injured or he's got some sort of forearm injury. We'll see if he goes on the IL. Hopefully it's precautionary and he won't go on the IL, but he's not at short, he's a very capable shortstop. You have Triolo at second. Callihan now is in at third. It's just, they're not consistent enough on this defense. Even the infield defense, when you lose somebody like Griffin too in there, it's rough. And they let Skenes down tonight. The offense as well, 2 runs wasn't going to do it. And then, so Skenes exits before even getting 6 innings because of this. And now you got to rely on your bullpen for 3+ innings. And they once again did not get it done tonight. They gave up some runs as well, which we will talk about. We'll talk about the offense overall when we come back. Colin Ray, just again, he's a major league pitcher. He's a fine major league pitcher, but he looked like Cy Young out there today. So we will talk about that coming up on the show. The NHL playoffs are here, where every shift matters, every moment is intense, and the pressure is at its highest. And just like performance on the ice, it matters off the ice too. That's where Rougiette comes in. Rougiette offers treatment designed to help you get ready and stay ready when it matters. Their top option, Rougiette Ready, combines clinically proven ingredients in a simple mint that dissolves under your tongue. It works fast, often in 15 minutes, and can last up to 36 hours. And they also offer Go Long, designed to help with both performance and control. It's all about confidence and feeling like yourself again. Head to Rougiette.com/LockedOnNHL and get 15% off your ED treatment. That's Rougiette, RUGIET.com/LockedOnNHL for 15% off. Rougiette, performance medicine for men. So Skenes gives up the 2 runs. He finishes right now, if that Ian Happ play stays as a hit, he finishes with 3 runs. Actually, I think they might have already changed it. I see 1 earned run down here on the score box now. 10 strikeouts. He did have 3 walks, only 4 hits allowed. His ERA is at 2.89. Yeah, it looks like they did change that error. The Pirates are down now for 2 errors. So once again, just the defense not being good enough. And I mean, we know they're not great, but it's some point you have to rely, defense has to make some simple plays for you. I mean, these weren't crazy, extraordinary plays that they would have been having to make. So it was a tough one there, but he exits. It's 3-0 Pirates, and they get out of that 6th inning. They go to the bottom of the 6th inning. And of course, like typical Pirate fashion, like, the game's kind of not out of reach, but they're down 3-0. Skenes is out. They start hitting the ball. And it starts with Bryan Reynolds. He leads off the bottom of the 6th with the home run, his 5th of the year, solo shot. Cruz flies out. Garcia gets a single. Jake Mangum called out on strikes. And then they finally chase Colin Ray. At that point, once Garcia's single, they put Hobie Milner in we kind of got into that Cubs bullpen, and Tyler Callihan comes up and he rips a double off the center field wall to score Garcia. And again, I don't know if Callihan was called up because of Griffin maybe hitting the IL tomorrow. Now Gonzalez, like the injuries are piling up on this team. So maybe he's going to probably be here now with the Gonzalez injury. So Callihan may get some playing time. If you're down Griffin and Gonzalez now, Triolo is going to play and Callahan's probably going to play, which Callihan obviously was a big, was a big Ben Sherrington pickup. He seemed to really like him. So he went out and got him. And Callahan's first at bat in the fourth inning, making his Pirates debut, was a walk. And then he comes through with that double, batting the old 1,000. Comes through with a big hit. So he got out later, so he's only hitting 500 on the year now. But it was a big hit at the time. It cut the game, it cut the lead down to 1. It was 3-2. And you're thinking, okay, this Pirates offense has done it before as far as not giving up. They come back, they score some runs. They scored 2 tonight, but that was pretty much it. And there's a stat rolling around on Twitter. I think the Pirates are something now. I think they might be 1-20 now with their trailing after the 6th inning. And I thought about this a couple weeks ago. As better that the Pirates have been this year, and they've been hovering around 500, they've been over 500. We haven't seen, I think we've had one walk-off win. Like, we haven't seen those comeback victories too much where they either pull it out late in extra innings. We had a couple games that they came back and forced extras and ended up losing. There really hasn't been too many comeback victories, and that record, that stat shows that, where they were like 1-19 after 6, trailing after 6 innings. So, but I think part of that is not only the bats kind of go cold from time to time, but it's the bullpen. It's tough to come back when it's a 1 or 2 run game, and then your bullpen comes in and puts gas on the fire and just gives up 3 or 4 runs. And it's tough to come back in those games, which tonight was one of those nights. So Mason Montgomery pitches a nice inning and 2/3, 2 strikeouts. He's been really good as of late. Him and like Soto are like 2 of the only ones that I really rely on. I mean, Dotel's been good, but he's kind of in a different role in that bullpen. They go to Brendan Benoit, who's been pretty good since being up here with the Pirates. He gives up 3 runs, 2 earned. And just kind of, then we went to Yohan Ramirez. He gives up more, and it's just, so let's talk about Benoit's inning. He comes in for the 8th, gets Horner to line out. Michael Busch strikes out. So you got 2 outs. He's sort of cruising. Bregman singles. Here comes Ian Happ, the Pirate killer, the Pirate native, or the Pittsburgh native. He hits a 2-run home run. Happ's 3rd hit of the night, 2-run home run, and just kind of puts the game out of reach at that point. They added on later in that inning. Michael Conforto walks, scored on a pass ball. Yeah, it is what it is, guys. Yohan Ramirez comes in the 9th, looking to try to keep it a 4-run game, and walks PCA. Nico Horner singles. Bush flies out. Bregman hits a force out. Run scores. They challenged it. Looked like they called it out at the plate. Looked like Davis tagged him. PCA, of course, jumps up, says the challenge. They challenge it. He rolled safe. They overturn it and made it 7-2. And the Pirates offense single. Giardiolo gets a single in the bottom of the 9th. Henry Davis grounds into a double play, and Horowitz lines out. Ball game. You go from the Cubs losing 10 in a row and taking the first 2 games in this series to where you're like, okay, at least take 3 or 4. You have Paul Skenes on the mound, and you end up losing both games. And you split the series. You're 1 game over 500. You're still in last place in this division. They're treading water. Like Bob Walk said, treading water is a perfect analogy for it. And I don't know if this team's I don't know if they're gonna get going and kind of get a winning streak going. They just the bats disappear from times against pitchers like Colin Ray. The bullpen is the bullpen. It's not good. Even with Dotel here, Now, Jared Jones, the news before the game, big news was Jared Jones finally was activated. Majinski going to the bullpen. Obviously, I don't think he was available tonight. He had pitched on Monday. Probably will be available tomorrow. Majinski going to the bullpen should help out immensely. I've been talking about it for a while now. The bullpen lacks that middle relief, and he can do it. He did it last year. He was very good. He can go multi-innings. He could do a spot start if you need him to later this year. He could be a 1-inning, 8th-inning guy if you need him to here and there. He can do it all in that bullpen. So I'm not saying like go pitch Majinski in like a blowout game. No, you need to pitch him when games like this. It's the starter leaves. It's 2-1, 2-3-2. It's a close game. Put Majinski in there for 2 to 3 innings. Let him keep the game close. And then maybe your bats can come back at that point. And maybe you can actually get a comeback victory. But yeah, I tweeted it out. Annoying, frustrating loss loading during that 6th inning. And that's what it was. It was a frustrating game tonight. Another tough loss for the Pirates on a game that, I mean, they were a huge favorite in this one, minus 170. They should have won this game. But anytime Skenes is on the mound, you should win those games. And hasn't happened. Last 2 starts was more on Skenes, giving up runs in like the 5th and 6th innings. But tonight, the defense let him down. And the bats weren't getting it going for him. And that was pretty much the game. So, like I mentioned, the series tomorrow starts against the Twins at home, PNC Park. Jared Jones back, his first start since September of 2024. It'll be good to see Jared Jones. I hope his rehabs have been kind of electric. He hasn't gone a full 5 innings in those rehabs, but he had like 4 or 5 rehab starts. I'm looking forward to seeing him back. And kind of maybe hopefully he can duplicate some of that magic that he had in 2024 when he first came up. So, but that's the show, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. I believe Nathan will be on for you to break down that Jared Jones start. Hopefully the Pirates can get a win tomorrow. Because like I said last night, you can lose a game like that last night, but just don't turn it into 2 or 3 losses. And here we go again. Now you lose a Skenes start, and now you got a start tomorrow. The Twins are coming in. Derek Shelton returns. So look for that. It's the, I don't know if you want to call it the mentor against the protege, Don Kelly versus he was his bench coach, Derek Shelton's bench coach. So we'll see. It'll be the storyline, but the Twins aren't very good. They're a couple games under 500. So hopefully you go take some games from that, but you gotta get it done. So, but yeah, thanks everyone for listening. Please like and subscribe, and we will be back tomorrow. Peace.